Welcome back to Talking Realty, the podcast where we help home sellers save time, save money, and avoid headaches. I'm your host, Glen, Realtor and founder of the Ohio Property Group, where we offer full-service realtor support to Ohio home sellers for a low flat fee instead of a giant old commission. Taysia is in the studio with us today. For those of you who don't know, realtor since 2021. She has handled hundreds and hundreds of deals for us and now runs our entire marketing department. Everything marketing does with her, including this podcast, or all of our social media, the website, outbound email, you name it. Well, one of her unofficial hats that she likes, well, I don't know if she likes to wear it or not, but she does wear it, is office therapist. So when any one of us gets truly worked up about something, we call Taysia. And she's really good at it. Like, she takes these calls so well, and obviously out of the blue every time. Hey, you got a minute? Which is an hour, right? So I want to hit you with something because I cannot for the life of me figure out what I'm missing here. I had two sellers, like within a couple of days of each other, tell me that they wanted to cancel. Now, if I was a smart man, I would simply smile and let them go because we've already been paid. We get paid up front, and it's not free. It's not 6%, but it's definitely not free. It's not what I would call an insignificant amount of money that people would just normally walk away from. So they've paid it and they understand they're not getting it back.
Right. Yep.
But there are, so first step, there are a couple of reasons why sellers decide to cancel that have nothing to do with us. So I got to clear that out first. So my first question, of course, is, well, why? Why do you want to cancel? What's happening? Because maybe I can help, maybe not. But I also need to introduce them to our list until sold and make sure they understand that that's part of it. So let's just say, for example, they were moving for a job and then the job fell through. Okay, well, now they don't need to move. We had one guy last year they were getting a divorce. Sad, but it happens. And so they listed their house. They're getting a divorce. They need to move. They reconciled. So canceled the listing. Now, those and anybody else who cancels with us, if they should choose to sell that house later, we let them come back. We don't charge them again because it's list until sold, because we just copy the old listing and start a new one, and it's almost all filled in. We just add the new stuff and we go. It's like not a big deal for us to bring people back, but it's just one of the many, many, many benefits of listing with us. So I want to clear that out. Hey, you can come back, but so the one says, they both basically said it's not working. They didn't fit into that category. Like, they're still needing to sell. So this is now a Glen problem. And again, if I was smart, I would just let him go. I'm not that guy for whatever reason. It's hard for me to let that go.
Because of our don't be evil core value that Justin introduced. Don't be evil.
Correct.
We're not evil. And evil, I mean, maybe not evil would be just like letting them go and taking our money and being like, best of luck to you. But if we know they're going to go somewhere and maybe pay more or end up with like a worse experience, I don't know. We feel like we should at least try. Like, you hired us to help you. We're going to keep trying to help you until you tell us, like, get out.
Mm-hmm. So, well, that, and they clearly have a problem, right? Core value, our client problems those are our problems. Yep. I think that's what it says. Client issues are our issues. So this is an issue. They still have to sell. They've already paid us. It's not working. So maybe we can fix this. Obviously, we can fix this. So, okay. So they're now going to walk away from money that they've already paid, and then they're going to go pay even more, i.e. 6%, to someone else. So the logical question is, what are they going to do for you that we're not going to do for you, like that we're not doing? Because maybe there's a gap there. Maybe there's some new technique. Perhaps someone has thought of something that we hadn't seen before. And this happens, right? I mean, we're not the end all be all of.
No, we're always like, you don't ask this question. Like, you don't ask them, what are they going to do that we're not like disingenuously, because like, so we never know what other people are discovering. And if we can leverage it for our sellers, then we want to know so that in the future, all of our future sellers can benefit.
There's an old Army general who used to say the enemy gets a vote. And that is true with us. We think we've thought of everything. until we have it, until somebody thinks of something else, and then we steal it shamelessly. Whether it's a seller or a competitor, somehow, some way, we get the idea and we decide this could really work to help us further our goals of saving time, saving money, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's separate these out. So seller one is, he's willing to engage this conversation because he knows I'm genuinely trying to help him. And he just doesn't know what else to do, right? He's thinking, maybe I just need to do this. The seller two, however, we had problems day one with this one because right after the first day that this thing went on the market, she got a hold of me and said, hey, my friend is a realtor and he wants to list the house too. Like he wants to, can I just list it with both of you? So I had to explain that, in the state of Ohio, that's not how that works. He's got a broker. I am a broker. You can't list it with two different brokers in the state of Ohio, at least not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And so she had to make a choice. I was like, well, you can cancel if you want, and list with your friend, or you can stick it out. But unfortunately, we don't have a way to do that. And she said, no. So you're right. I've already paid for this. I'm going to stick it out. And then about a week later, he approached her again. So we've got, you see my heartburn on this.
We get heartburn over things being unethical, and this is actually something that they do touch on in real estate school, because they talk a lot about how not to get sued and how not to break rules. But when another agent has something listed, you're not supposed to go solicit that listing because that listing is theirs.
Yeah, we have to take continuing ed. We talk about ethics. We talk about the law, and yet they know what they're doing. So we have to assume that this agent knows he's breaking the law, knows he's violating the Realtor Code of Ethics, and is okay with it. And apparently the seller's okay with it too. Now, I got to be honest.
The seller might not know.
Right.
I don't think sellers, because we live in capitalism where competition and all that is key. And so they just think, oh, he's, outselling the guy I'm with. They don't realize that he's choosing to basically make an unethical move. And so your heartburn, I already know from being your seasoned therapist, is that your heartburn is that even if the seller leaves us, because we have a cancel anytime policy, we're not going to try to make you click yes 8 different times, when you try to cancel your Amazon subscription or something. But your heartburn is that it's not that she's just going to go list with someone else. She's going to go potentially list with somebody who's unethical, which is if you're going to list with a traditional agent, go find a good one.
Yeah.
And she's not. Yeah.
And here's the thing. If they will break the rules to get your listing, they will 100% break the rules to get you to closing, which sounds like a good thing. But what if the advice they're giving you is not the best advice? It's just a way to get to the closing table so they can get paid.
They get
what
paid.
If? And so give me the person who will adhere to the rules when it doesn't benefit them. That's the person I want. But in this case, they're okay with the situational ethics being all over the place, saying, well, I'm only breaking the rules because I'm trying to help you. Oh, no, trust me, not the case, not the case. You either do or you don't. Okay, so we got a rule breaker going after seller number 2. Taysia, these 2 properties have been on the market for a month in the MLS, and they're not selling. What do you think the problem is?
It's there. Everybody who listens regularly, say it with me. Price.
It's the price. Right.
It's the price.
And we know this. And I've done this over and over and over, with the data and the, if you price it for $1 and all this stuff. I've already done all that. I already know I'm right. Plus we do this every week. We know when we have a stale listing, we lower the prices. Magically stuff starts happening.
Plus it's not even exclusive to real estate, because what do you do if you're selling your old band t-shirts on eBay and no one's biting and you're really tired of storing them? You lower the price, you lower the starting bid, that's just how selling things work.
And you know what's interesting about that is if you do this and it's too low, people will fight over it and you'll get more for it. Same here. Okay. So regardless, we know if the seller is unhappy with the amount of activity in terms of showings and offers, it is almost entirely comes back to the pricing. So I have to approach this conversation with these sellers and somehow not look like I'm sour grapes, like I'm just being a little whiner because they're trying to leave me. Even though
Yeah.
smart money would say, let them go. But that's not a win for us. We
No.
don't win, but when we get paid, we win when that seller,
When the seller gets paid.
when they get paid and they are doing cartwheels and then they
Yes.
tell everybody about us. That's when we win.
Hey folks, almost every seller I know has at least a few questions about the process, which is why we offer a totally free, no obligation, one-on-one strategy call for anyone with a property to sell in Ohio. On that call, we're going to help you plan your listing launch. We're going to nail down your price. We're going to make sure you're ready for offers and inspections and appraisals and hopefully help you get a bidding war off the ground. Check the show notes, the YouTube comments, or just head over to talkingrealty.com and book your free call right now. Seriously, hit pause, go do it now, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's get you on the right track. All right, back to the show.
Okay, so what are they going to do differently? He brought me 2 good old chestnuts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Secret buyers.
Your favorite.
I hate the secret buyer thing.
Your favorite.
And I don't want to talk about secret buyers.
No, I'll talk about it. Hold on. Okay. Glen impression. Ready? I'm going to keep it, not Glen impression because I'm going to keep it concise. Burn. Just kidding. Okay. This is my impression of you. This agent has secret buyers that they've locked up in a closet somewhere with absolutely no internet, no access to your house, even though you've listed it in the MLS, which puts it on hundreds of websites in front of any buyer looking in your price range and in your location. Really? They have buyers like that? Those buyers don't exist. Okay, that was my Glen impression.
Okay, they don't exist. Problem number 2 with secret buyers is if they truly are if they exist, which I already know they don't, but let's just say they do. And then they're only going to look at houses once their agent, their super magic agent, puts their blessing on it. Okay, it's my listing now. You can buy it. Before when it was somebody else's listing, it might have been the perfect house for you, but you can't buy it. Okay.
Yeah.
First, okay, we weren't going to do that. But anyway, let's say all of that is true and they do wind up, a buyer steps up. What's the problem for the seller if the secret buyer pool really exists and it works? What's the immediate problem for the seller when one of those buyers steps up?
Well, in my head, there's 2 problems because now you're with a traditional agent, so you're paying them 6% instead of our flat fee, which is a lot lower. And 2, speaking of paying them 6%, you are now paying them alone 6% because now they are representing their quote unquote secret buyer and they're representing you, which means we've talked about dual agency. This is another one I won't let Glen get into today, but because we have episodes and we have blog posts, go search the website. But
it's the devil's breath.
Now you're paying one person to essentially not be able to represent either of you because you can't represent both people fairly.
Nope.
Even though it's technically legal, still somehow we don't recommend it.
You're not allowed to advocate for either party, which means you can't help the seller and you can't help the buyer because by helping the seller, you're hurting the buyer. Helping the buyer, you're hurting the seller. Horrible. You're paying twice as much money for no service. Okay. Next, special marketing. They've got this whole special marketing plan. What kind of stuff are they going to do in this special secret marketing plan?
The thing is, like, the internet exists, so all agents put you in the MLS. We've already done, which just like if you don't know, because I didn't know before I started working in this industry, once it's in the MLS, that's what puts you on Realtor, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Homes, all that stuff. So it's literally you put it in one system, it gives it to all the systems. So it's really simple. And then the only other things they can do are stuff that worked better in like the 1980s before we all had 90s, before we had phones in our hands, which is they can send out postcards, which Andy and I do still get those occasionally. They go straight in the trash because we're not looking for a house. And so that's a waste of
We'll talk
paper,
about the postcards
and money, whatever. And also if they do, for whatever reason, still have a brick and mortar office that happens to have a sidewalk in front of it, they'll print a nice color photo of your listing and they will tape it on the glass. And I can't think of anything else that they would do because they're not taking out a whole billboard for your house. Not that that would help either.
So it wouldn't help. But what they're doing, first of all, let's flip the camera around. You're a buyer now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you decide, okay, we want to buy a house. Let's run down to the old real estate office downtown and see what they got? Do you do that? Okay. So are you going to be like just standing at the mailbox, foaming at the mouth every day? Probably not. here's probably what's happening. You're getting on your magic phone or your computer or your tablet, or you're having your grandchild help you do it. And then you're getting this cornucopia of homes that are for sale. And then what's really cool is you can type in, this is where I want to live. This is how much I want to pay. This is how many bedrooms. I need a garage. I need a basement. And then magically, the only ones that show up in your face are the ones that match all of those criteria. That's
the point being, the major point being here on our tangent is that marketing, as everybody can probably guess, in 2026 with the internet the way it is increasingly simple when it comes to just like putting it everywhere. So what secret extra stuff are they going to do? It can't possibly be anything that would make a difference because it's already everywhere.
And the thing is, does it hurt to do those things? All of those things are fine, but if you don't do any of them, you're still going to win as long as you're in the MLS. You're going to be fine. So back to the seller number one, what are they going to do differently? Secret buyers? Probably not. Special marketing? Probably not. So why do they do all this? To impress the seller.
Yes.
Same reason they put you in the real estate books. They put your ad in the paper. Do they still do that? Is that a thing? Is there a real estate section? You know?
I don't know. In Lancaster, there's a real estate billboard about every 10 feet, but I don't really get the paper. So they're still doing billboards.
How is that helping
Crazy.
me, the home seller, that you have your face on a billboard that says, if you're thinking of buying, call me? How is it helping? It's not. Okay, so anyhow, all that aside, but this is part of my rant. I have to get it out or it will become cancerous, and I don't want that.
Well, and no, but it's important for the sellers listening who hopefully are just entertained by our antics and still here. But if you're wondering why you're still here, it's because you need to know these tactics, because when you're in a tough situation where you want to sell and you don't really want to have to give up your price, realtors are really trained to come along and sort of tell you everything but your price is the problem. But like, spoiler alert, another couple weeks into your listing, because now they've nabbed you and you have no activity, and you're going to be like, hey, you said you would get me activity. They'll be like, yeah, you know what? We're probably going to have to lower that price. They knew it the whole time.
Yeah.
But they wanted your listing because they want your money, because they're like, real estate school teaches us to be salespeople who don't get sued. I will forever, like, sorry, real estate school, do better. That's what it taught me. So that's important that you understand what they're throwing at you and why it's not true, so that you don't fall for it, because falling for it could be the difference between paying us like $2,000 and paying them $18,000, which that's a big difference.
And for what? So, okay, so I'm talking to seller number one. Hey, what are they going to do for you? And he gives me these things. And interestingly enough, both realtors, we know it's the price. And when I bring this up with both of them, seller number one says, no, the guy I'm talking to says my price is fine. Seller number two says, I think I can get more for it. Okay. This is so frustrating.
But again, okay, so you're going to pay me more for it? Like, that's listen, so you're buying my house, because their opinions of the price don't matter. Go watch our feedback episode, because we touch on this. Like, an agent opinion of the house doesn't matter. Even you might think that's rich coming from two agents. When we tell you how to price your house, we tell you this is like what the historical data is saying. So it supports your price or doesn't support your price in the market right now. But the only way we can know for sure is to throw it out there to the buyers and see if they agree, because they can change from day to day, market to market, neighborhood to neighborhood. And you're never not going to know until the people paying for it decide to pay for it.
By and large, two rules of thumb for you. One is if you're a seller, take the number that you honestly believe, first thing that pops to your head, that you honestly believe your house is going to sell for, reduce it by 5%, and I'll bet you're pretty close. Just take it down by 5%. I don't know where it comes from, but it's the rose-colored glasses effect.
The emotional attachment. I mean, I know all this stuff, and I would still have a hard time, because I renovated my house from almost studs at this point. And it would be hard for me to, I would struggle to price it. I get where it comes from.
Yeah. The other thing you do is we'll do all the math. We'll run the comps. We'll give you a range. And what I tell sellers is, first of all, take the bottom of the range and then go as low as you'd be, like the bottom number you would be comfortable selling it for, and then go a little bit lower. That's how I want you to price it. But you've got market pricing, which will get you market results. And so if it's 65 days on the market and you get 94% of list price, well, in 65 days, you're going to get a flaccid offer for 94%, and it's going to have terrible terms. There you go. Or you can wow price it and spark a bidding war. That's the right way to go.
Home sellers, this episode of Talking Realty is brought to you by our friends at Associates Title. This team is shaking things up by focusing on what truly matters, putting you, the customer, first. Whether you're buying or selling or investing, whether you're for sale by owner, whether you're working with a realtor, doesn't matter. They've got your back with incredible cost savings and the latest technology to streamline the process. Their secure online portal keeps everyone in the loop, from buyers and sellers to lenders to agents, all while keeping your data safe and communication crystal clear. If you're getting ready to make a move, don't underestimate the importance of having a great title company in your corner. Check them out today at associatestitleinc.com or call my friend Ryan Phillips at 614-419-2418. Remember, they're not just in Ohio, they're in a lot of states. So give them a call, but do not leave your title company choice to chance. And definitely don't let the buyer or their agent make that choice for you. All right, back to the show.
So we have this conversation.
Yeah.
And he
with
gets
seller
it.
one.
And he gets it. Okay. He understands. Okay. They're not going to do anything different for me. They don't have secret buyers. They don't have special marketing techniques, and it's my price. So he decided to take a break. He had some family coming to visit. They had some travel plans, stuff like that, that was just going to make it very difficult for them to keep selling. So we pull it off the market, and we just brought it back as a refresh. So we brought it back up, lower price, got some new photos, got a new description, and we're off to the races, right? We're getting showings. We're probably going to be in offers here very shortly. So it worked. That worked. Seller number 2 did cancel. That property is now under contract, but between the time they listed it and the time it went under contract, they did first they did a price increase. Not kidding. They really did.
Wow.
So she bought the sale of the bill of goods.
Yeah.
They bumped the price up like 2 or 3%.
Wow.
For about 4 days. Then they brought it back to their original list price. It sat for 3 weeks. Then they lowered it $20,000, I think. I'm sorry, $10,000, and ended up getting it under contract. So it just closed. So the final outcome is that it sold $5,000 under the new list price, which was $10,000 below what they had it with us.
Okay,
Now,
so we're down $15K already.
And we're in the low
Okay.
200s too. This is not like $1 million home. All
Got
right.
it.
We're in the very, very low 200s. It sold below 200, if that gives you,
Mhm.
like, that's how low in the 200s we are. So now we're down 15,000, and we've got a $12,000 commission tacked on that they wouldn't have had with us.
Oh my gosh. So 27,000? Did I do that math right?
$27,000. That's what that cost them. Now, this is why I engage with sellers when they tell me they want to leave to go to a traditional realtor, because what we know is that there is no voodoo. All right. If there was voodoo, I'd be selling it. We don't have it. It doesn't exist. There's only great marketing, great pricing, and great negotiating. That's it. That's what you have. And no amount of spamming emails and postcards, which all, by the way, is just noise, it's not helping you sell, is going to get you to the finish line. So I guess my question is, Taysia, why does this keep happening?
I find this very upsetting because what it feels like to me is, because we have the perfect example now. Seller 1 and seller 2 are both going to cancel. Seller 1 listened to how you debunked, secret buyers and special marketing, how you pulled the data, showed them that it's because they're getting search traffic but no clicks, which means it passed through the prices. One of the only things they can see is price and exterior. They listened to all that, took a break from the market, came back at a lower price, get under contract for near that price. They're still only out our commission, and if they had a buyer's agent and chose to pay them something, whatever that is. Okay. Then seller 2 doesn't listen to any of that, cancels, goes to the traditional realtor, and ends up having to lower the price, pay a commission, and is basically out almost $30,000.
Yeah.
Insane. And all that happened to seller 2 is her quote unquote friend, because no good friend would do this to somebody. Her friend, who's a realtor, essentially suckered her in, did a good sales pitch, suckered her into believing it couldn't possibly be her price was a problem until they locked her down, and then was like, your price is the problem. And I hate that. That makes me feel sick, because $30,000 is still, That's like a year's salary for most people. Like that's
Mhm.
so much money to give up when they
It's a
could have
lot.
saved $28,000 essentially if they had
Mhm.
stayed with us, or if they're willing to go that low, which they don't think they are at the time. But if you're willing to almost lose, even if you just talk about the 12K commission, just stay with us for one more week and lower your price by $12,000 and see what happens, because
See
you
what
were going to
happens.
be out at least that much anyways.
Mhm. And, you know, I don't think it was a great sales pitch. I think it was somebody who preyed on their fears. They
Yeah,
understood
yeah.
there was this urgency there. Maybe you call it a sales pitch. I call it manipulation. However, selling on fear, that's real and it's everywhere. But the point is that people, whether they know it or not, that emotions are expensive, they know it. Like somewhere in their lizard brain, they understand that fear is expensive. And they'll still fall for it. These are perfectly rational people. Like the lady who ended up, getting hosed by this other agent. She's very intelligent. I know what she does for a living. It's money related, so it's not like
Yeah, like this
she's
isn't a new concept.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like she can do the math, did the math, but didn't believe it. Believed her this pipe dream out here that somebody was selling her. You're right, selling her. That, oh, I can get you more money, but you got to list with me. And oh, by the way, once you sign there, it's like scratch down at the crossroads. You're not getting out of that deal. And so I blame myself for not getting the information in a way that could be absorbed and reacted to, because I know I'm right. I don't mean that to sound as arrogant as it sounds, but I know I'm right in the sense that we've been doing this for 2 decades. When people leave us, which happens a few times a year, they leave us and go list with a traditional agent. This story is how it plays out every time, because the market doesn't lie. The market doesn't care who they were listed with. They care how much you were asking. They don't care that they sent postcards and I didn't. I promise you, it wasn't the postcard. It was the price that finally presented the prospect of a deal that made the buyer get off the couch, go look at the house, and then finally pull the trigger. So that's what's so frustrating to me. And I don't know, I've never know how to get this out. I do my best with the sellers because I have to check my own emotions. And my emotions isn't about I'm losing this listing. My emotion is you're getting hoodwinked. Don't
Yeah.
fall for it. But they hear, oh, he's just crying because he's losing the listing. No, I'm not. I've already been paid.
Which I think you might have started even telling that some sellers, like, we tell them that sometimes, like, as a reminder, you've already paid us. You're
Mhm.
still welcome to cancel, or you're still welcome to ignore our advice, or whatever situation's
Mhm.
in. We're doing this surely because we believe this is in your best interest.
Yeah.
Like, do with it what you will. Like, we're not going to pressure you, but at the same time, like, we're not gaining anything from doing this.
So, like you said, if you're going to go spend $20,000 on a traditional realtor, lower your price. Just save it. Come to us, lower your price. So, if one of those things is off, though, you're going to have problems. And switching your agent isn't going to fix that. Just not. So,
No, evaluating the price, evaluating the data related to the price. We've talked about this in other episodes, because when we look at traffic versus clicks versus showings, we can narrow down, because we don't say this often, but it is not always the price. Sometimes we can use data to find something else. It could be
sure,
photos showing friction, whatever. We've talked about that before, but we can tell it's the price pretty clearly if you're not even getting a click.
we can reverse engineer a bidding war. We can go back, look at one that went into a bidding war in like 2 days on the market, and we can look at all the data, and it's clear. It's clear. Massive click-through rate. The click to showing ratio is high. The showing to offer ratio is high. We know all those things. So we can look at those. Just like a dead listing that's been out there for 2 months with nothing, the data tells us the story every
And
time.
most importantly, what I want to leave people with, because I know not everyone we're not right for everyone
No.
in Ohio, and we can't work with people outside of Ohio. We have contacts, so reach out if you're out of state and we can see if we know somebody. But is any realtor can access the data that we're talking about. It is not difficult. There's several different websites that let you access it. We can pull it from Realtor. We can pull it from the MLS. We can pull it from probably Zillow. Like, so if your realtor isn't giving you that data or doesn't understand what you're asking for when you're trying to make an informed decision about I don't know, leaving them and listing with someone else or lowering your price. If they can't access that data, then you probably should leave them because this is common. So
Yeah.
ask for the data, get the data, make your informed decision. Any realtor can pull that data.
Yeah.
Is the point here, even if it's not us. So make the informed decision. Like, don't do this fear-based jumping ship thing.
No, because it just switching agents doesn't fix any of that stuff. It just doesn't.
Unless they've already fumbled 3 deals for you, and then see ya.
That's a good reason to switch
That's
agents.
a whole different situation, though.
Right? But that's the three-legged stool, right? Marketing, pricing, skilled negotiation. If you don't have a skilled negotiator in your corner, and not only that, you're paying them a king's ransom. So they better be not just good, they better be the best out there. And so anyway, that's the questions you should be asking your realtor, not how many postcards or emails you're going to send. No, baloney. How many deals did you do last week? Last month? How far you got to go back to find one? That's the kind of question you need to be asking. So, all right. Well, I tell you what, I feel better. Thank you, Taysia. Please bill me.
I will probably bill you extra because the $30,000 loss was a traumatic number I wasn't expecting today. So
Sorry.
Billing will be high. I'll take a couple extra days off work. That'll be my payment.
No problem. Okay. I think we'll probably get down with that. Can I join you?
I don't know. You manage your own schedule. That's not my job anymore.
On those days off? All right. Well, I'll tell you what, with that, let's let these nice folks get back to their day. All right. You have a good one. Thank you, Taysia. I'll call you the next time I have a crisis.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you learned a little something or maybe had a little bit of fun. The Talking Realty podcast is brought to you by the Ohio Property Group, a family-owned company where we sell homes for a low, flat fee. If you've got a question, you've got a guest or a topic that you'd like to see in a future episode, I would love to hear from you. Just head to talkingrealty.com and say hello. Until next time, keep making smart moves in your real estate journey. For the Ohio Property Group, this is Glen Witten signing off. And remember, you can sell it. We can help.